Yes, and so welcome to Living Beyond Limits, everyone. I'm Reverend Jennifer Spear. We are a part of Centers for Spiritual Living. I'm so glad that you've joined us this morning, and welcome for those of you who are joining us online also. And so let's read our vision statement together. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. That's what we're doing here at Living Beyond Limits, as we are giving ourselves the opportunity to tap into and to feel and sense and know and remember that at our core we are spiritual beings. That at our very center, that is what we are. Spirit here in form, expressing itself as each one of us. But what happens as we wake up to the fact that we are spiritual beings, that the presence of that infinite one is always closer than our very breathing, what happens is we realize then that when the world is not being kind or generous or loving or peaceful or centered, we aren't reliant on the world to be that in order for us to be that. Because the truth is, if spirit is at the core of our being, is the core of our own spiritual essence, then that means all that is true of spirit is also true of us. That the love of spirit is always within us. The peace of spirit is always within us. That we are whole, that we are powerful, that we can tap into that and be anchored and centered and not knocked around by life so much. And as we're able to then tap into that and bring those qualities and characteristics forward, we become kinder and more generous and more caring and more open, and we become a beneficial presence to life itself. Because where we bring that spirit anywhere, it actually, because everything is connected to everything else, we bring it everywhere, to the whole. And so thank you, each and every single one of you, for answering the call of your own beingness, your own spirit, to be walking this path and to be bringing your light into this world. Thank you for that. I don't know about you, but I'll tell you, that COVID lockdown was so hard for me. To have to stay home and to not be able to go out. I think most of you know I've been actually doing hair, been a hairdresser for 43 years, to not be able to go and have that creative outlet for expression that I have in my life, to not be able to see my clients or connect with them and have those kinds of conversations and relationships, all of that, to not be able to spend time with friends, to not be able to do all the things that I used to do, all of that was so hard for me. And you want to hear the crazy thing? Now I find myself all the time just wanting to stay home. I don't want to go to work. I just want to stay home. I just want to be in my house. I couldn't wait to get out of my house before. You know, human beings, we are funny that way. We like one thing, but then on the other hand, we like its exact opposite. You know, we love to be in our comfort zone, to be in the familiar and in the known and where we feel safe, where things feel easy and we feel like we have control over what's going on. And we like doing something that's new, something adventurous, go someplace we've never been before, have an experience that we've never had or an opportunity we've never had. We like both of those things. But what happens eventually if we stay in our comfort zone for too long, if we stay in that which feels familiar to us, we get bored and we feel stagnant and we feel a little bit less alive, and we don't experience expansion of ourselves or of our life. And yet there's a part of us always that wants to learn and to grow and to stretch and to discover the world, more of the world, and to discover more of who we are as these infinite beings. And so you probably don't know this, but yesterday was actually Walk on Your Wild Side Day. It says Walk on Your Wild Side Day, observed annually on April 12th, encourages individuals to step out of their comfort zones and embrace spontaneity. Created by Thomas and Ruth Roy, this day serves as a reminder to break free from routine and engage in activities that defy personal norms or societal expectations. Embark on a project or an adventure that you are avoiding. Explore new vistas. Do something spontaneous that is totally outside of your comfort zone. The essence of Walk on Your Wild Side Day is to challenge yourself to act unpredictably and embrace the thrill of the unknown, to foster self-discovery and a new way of being. You all thought Walk on Your Wild Side was something different than that. That's funny. So in honor of Walk on Your Wild Side Day today, I'm actually talking about stepping out of your comfort zone. Because as spiritual beings, we need to grow, and we need to unfold, and we need to discover more of who we are, and then to give birth to that more, that greater yet to be, to bring that into the world. That's one of the reasons that we're here on planet Earth. Eric Butterworth says, you either grow old or you grow onward. He also says, you don't grow old. When you stop growing, you are old. Anybody find themselves kind of there after retirement? Not really doing anything with myself. So it doesn't matter what your age is, whether you're 5 or whether you're 105, we still all have that need to grow. We have a need to discover our untapped potential and to bring that expanded self into this world. And so I think those things that keep us from stepping out of our comfort zones are doing things that we've never done before. It's doing things that are unfamiliar, things that feel risky, things that aren't already a part of our skill set. My best friend doesn't like to do something new because she doesn't like to do what she's not already good at. So yesterday, with the help of Deetra, I learned to do something new, which was to actually put music in a file, a PowerPoint file, so that we could play it before service today. That was stepping outside of my comfort zone, my familiar, what I know how to do. And I'll tell you, since Ray Bunch has been gone, I've taken over most of Ray's jobs. I've had to learn all sorts of new things that weren't part of my skill set before. All of that is stepping out of our comfort zone. And so maybe for you, stepping outside of your comfort zone is doing something like public speaking. Or maybe it's more like just speaking up for yourself. Maybe it's meeting new people or talking to someone that you don't know. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation with someone or being emotionally vulnerable. Maybe it's learning a new sport or a new skill or going somewhere new. Or maybe it's abstaining from a vice, or even putting down your cell phone. All of those things feel a little bit uncomfortable, or can feel uncomfortable. So there's one of two things, I think, that keep us from risking being vulnerable, stepping outside of our comfort zone. And one of those is fear that we're not going to be able to do whatever it is that we think we want to do. Fear that it won't work out. Fear that we somehow won't be okay. Or 2, not wanting to take the risk of looking stupid in front of other people. But fear of just feeling that discomfort is the thing that keeps us from stepping out, from risking, from doing something new. I read a study this week on working on this talk out of Cornell University that had people in this study actually seek out those feelings of discomfort. Not just tolerating them, but seeking to put yourself in experiences where you feel uncomfortable. And they found that those people grew more, those people reached their goals more, those people moved toward their goals to a greater degree than the people who weren't seeking out feeling that kind of discomfort. There's a quote by Unknown that says, "Spirit doesn't whisper from the safety of your comfort zone. It dances on the edge of your becoming, inviting you to walk on your wild side." And so the title of my talk today is "The Fit Too Tight?" Are you inside this little tight thing and you want a little bit of room to get out? I'm talking about that we feel safe and secure in that routine. We feel safe and secure in the familiar, in our comfort zone. But the truth is we are here to grow. We are here to actualize our untapped potential. Stepping out of that comfort zone enables us to be who our soul wants us to be, who your spirit wants you to be. It allows you to become who your spirit wants to be. It expands our perspective about ourselves and about life. It expands our understanding of the world. It deepens our understanding of ourselves. It cultivates greater self-confidence. And then, in turn, you know this, we feel more alive. Think about that. Every time you accomplish something that you have never done before, how alive you feel. Do you recall that? Recall those feelings? It's invigorating. It's exciting. We feel like, I'm living on planet Earth and I'm actually living and doing something. And it feels that way because we're actually giving way to our spiritual potential, giving way to our spirit that is not confined and doesn't have confines. Ernest Holmes said, "God is more completely expressed in the person who lives largely than the person who lives meagerly." When we stretch, we give spirit greater room to express in a greater way in this world. And then we express more fully, we live more largely, we live more freely when we step out of our comfort zone. When we step out of our comfort zone and then express from there. But what is required, I think, in order to step out really is to be grounded in our own wholeness. To be grounded in that eternal, unchanging, unalterable, indestructible wholeness that is who we are. For when we are anchored in the truth of our own wholeness, when we are anchored in the truth that we are whole and powerful and enough, when we are grounded in knowing that we are eternal and indestructible, then we feel safe to take risks. Because then we know that we are okay. And it's the same thing with the world. When the world and what's going on in the world feels outside of your comfort zone, which it does a lot right now, being anchored in your own wholeness is the thing that allows you to function and to thrive and to live your life and to be the beneficial presence that you are. And that's a whole nother talk. So we get anchored through doing affirmative prayer, through meditating, through using affirmations, telling ourselves who we are and what we are, because we forget sometimes. The part of us that is scared, the part of us that does not want to risk, is our egoic human self. It's not our spirit. It's our personality self. Our soul, our spirit, thrives on expansion. It's just that human personality self that isn't so sure and wants to hold on. There's a story that I'd like to share with you. It says one of the most inspiring sights in nature is an eagle in flight. With an endless expanse of blue behind it, the eagle spreads its mighty wings and soars majestically and gracefully across the sky. Free, powerful, complete. Because of this, the eagle became a symbol for how we'd like to be. We all want to soar in life like an eagle. But I wonder if you know how an eagle learns to fly. I am told that there is a particular species of eagle which builds its nest high up on the face of a cliff overlooking the sea. In this nest, the eagle chick is hatched and spends its first days watching its mother come and go, collecting food and bringing it back. One day, mom decides it's time for her chicks to learn to fly. You know how she does it? She forces her way into the nest and then pushes the chicks out. The chick starts plummeting down the cliff face, terrified, shocked, heartbeat racing, aware that death is just seconds away. And then something amazing happens. The chick instinctively stretches its wings that it never knew it had. The plummet becomes a fall, then a gentle rise. Soon, the chick is soaring like its mother. It's in that split second of terrifying danger that the chick comes face to face with itself and face to face with the wider reality. In that terrifying moment, the chick discovers what it is. And without that terrifying moment, it will never learn to soar. In that terrifying moment, the chick discovers what it is. Annette White says, "Each time you try something for the first time, you will grow. A little piece of fear of the unknown is removed, and you replace it with a sense of empowerment." In her book, she talks about every time we step out of our comfort zone, we feel afraid. The book is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. You feel the fear, you step out anyway, and what happens then is your comfort zone just grew. And the next time you feel afraid of doing something and you feel the fear and you step out and do it anyway, your comfort zone gets bigger yet. So your comfort zone keeps getting bigger, and you're no longer afraid to do those things. The more times we risk and that we step out, the more our personality self is convinced that we will be okay. Because we discover that we are okay. We discover that we are competent. We discover that we are capable. We discover that we are flexible, that we are resilient. Stepping out like that chick helps us discover who we are. Raymond Charles Barker says, "We do not realize that the thing we want to become, we already are." And so, is there something that you want to do in your life, but you have been unwilling to feel that discomfort of stepping out of your comfort zone? Something you've been wanting to do, but you have not been willing to risk out of fear? Can you think of something? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? You have a little sheet in your little green sheet inside your bulletin. And so that question is, Is there something you want to do that you have not done because you haven't been willing to take a risk? Which is the same question as, what would you do if you weren't afraid? And then the next question is, what is one step you can take today to move you in the direction of that? What is one step you can take today that moves you in the direction of doing that? And so my invitation to you this week is to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, to do the thing that your soul is calling you to do, to expand and to grow and to unfold and to discover more of life and more about yourself. To know that all of us feel nervous and uncomfortable when we step out of our comfort zone. That's just part of being a human being. It's part of having an ego. And get anchored in your wholeness. Do the spiritual practices that enable you to be anchored in your wholeness so that you know when you step out, you're still okay. To remember who you are, the fullness of the living Spirit here in form as you. And recognize that your growth lies just on the outside boundary of your comfort zone. That's where your growth is. Embrace the discomfort, challenge your fears, and celebrate every single time that you step out and do something. Celebrate that you've done that. Every time you push past your resistance, celebrate that. And as a result, you will be growing and thriving and living a fuller life and living your best life. And so blessings to all of you on this path of self-discovery, this path of giving way to your spirit and to that infinite presence and to a joy-filled, full life. Blessings to you. And so we just continue on in that, and I recognize that we are each showing up here on planet Earth for life. The fullness of life is having its way by means of each of us. And I recognize that this presence, this power, this one spirit, this life itself, this creative energy is infinite, that it is boundless, and that it is all powerful. Therefore, I know that there is nothing before us that is too big to do, that is too hard to do, that is too scary to do, for we walk in this presence and with this presence and as this presence. All that God is right now lifts us, carries us, buoys us, and encourages us and calls our name into our greatest life. And so today we heed that call. We step into the fear and right beyond it. For as we step out, we discover that it disappears as we have moved through it. And so I just give thanks for this truth. I give thanks for remembering this. I give thanks for this magnificent life that we are each living. And of course, I have to add on to this that I speak this word right now about our country and about every politician and every world leader and every country, knowing that Spirit right now is revealing itself to each and every decision maker of creative solutions, revealing its light and its love for humanity, and guiding and directing those choices and those decisions so that we can live in a world that works for each of us and that works for the whole. And so I bless all of this, knowing that we are being blessed from on high. And now again we say, and so it is. And I do have some invitations for you as a way to participate in this family. One is we are doing a Mother's Day project for the women who are staying at Long Beach Women's Shelter. We are collecting toiletry items for them. We've already made some cards and paper flowers. They did that at Straw Hat Pizza week before last. So if you would like to participate, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. You can talk to Barbara Conant. She'll let you know if there's anything you need to know. There's a selection of items that they select. Is that how the sign-up sheet is? And then we need it back here by May 4th. I've been announcing this, but there's a couple of new people in the room today. We're putting on a women's retreat that's going to be in Big Bear Thursday, July 17th, through to Saturday, July 19th. If you are interested in going, is there a sign-up sheet in the back? I don't know. Come talk to me. I don't think I brought the sign-up sheet today. I think it might be at my house. But it's going to be super fun. It's going to be spiritual in nature, and we will be doing some meditation and prayer and ritual and craft and sitting outside by the campfire and maybe going out on a boat on the lake. Also, what I would like to do for those of you who have signed up, if you're interested, I would like to join together and do some visioning about the theme of that retreat and what it is that we want it to be. So I will contact you soon, and we will set a date of what that works. So if you're already signed up and you would like to participate in visioning with me, will you raise your hand? Okie doke. Oh, good. All right, so I'll give you a call. Our Sunday talks are available online. They come out on Tuesday evening. I'm posting them on a link on Facebook and an email that goes out. We invite you to share those with your friends, anyone who might be interested in this. We invite you to check in on Meetup and say that you're coming. You can no longer say you're bringing friends, but you can come. And follow us on Instagram and on Facebook and like the things on Facebook. We have prayer support after service for you if you would like to sit with a practitioner and pray. We have prayer shawls that you can take with you. The practitioners will pray over them if you would like to. And I would like to also thank Sharon Baker, who brings us flowers for this altar and in the back so often. Most weeks. They're so beautiful. And Deetra says to me, I can smell those flowers. And thank you to everyone else who is participating and bringing snacks and bringing food and doing greeters and folding bulletins and doing all the things that you do, making coffee to help put on this service. I really appreciate it. And so I invite you to repeat after me, good fills my life now.
Good fills my life now.
I recognize it. I savor it. I own it. I live it. And so it is.